Yes, Urubawado, awa wunye blowad in the or without Urubu say Ogban robbery. Awe kaka bebo wab we budi ne ugere newspaper review awe urokena. Je wone awe ru awe town awe ke semege no vore omoteveru omoteragbo oyo ni robo jipu school de ori yo na wae pa obolesi turbine. I turbine na ono nesore eye na kwebi yokpona. When akpon when kede bona na ayidike pasa odike pe party wo sa gbon so wo shudu bluwe di turbine o kovi yo iburu gwebu but I know na okay you no go pale obolerue turbine o dare megere na oye Maryfaith esegbuyota efuriebe onyi Chief Executive Officer Morningstar Creative Arts Maryfaith wakobecha gbe Yorubo
Urubawado Omamuri okay Omamogovo Wakowama we Sansa Ruaba Osakevana. Happy New Month to you all too. Ekpakolunwena migo. Omereye Maryfaith Esegbuyota Efrieni. Omotori Kokori Inland. Womeba Oluro Rogo Vevuli Kokori. Mereye Osuri Morningstar Creative Arts. An organization that is into skill acquisition training programs. We create awareness on the need to acquire skills, the importance of these skills acquired, and how best to utilize these skills. We have various skills in our organization. We'll have makeup and gele, we have nails and lashes, we have fascinators, gele, turbans, and hand fan. Everything about bridal, from the tie, the muffler, the waistband, and all that. We also have Ankara bags and shoes. How you can use your Ankara fabric to make bags, to make shoes, and other accessories. We also do into beauty, cleaning, and sanitary products, such as Aza, Dettol, hair shampoo, conditioner, aftershave, perfume, and all that. Like I said before now, our major aim is to create skills, create awareness on the need to acquire skills. We help organizations to plan and execute skill acquisition training programs, most especially for weekends and during the long holidays, just as we're approaching August. I mean, the first working day tomorrow. We'll have a program going on in Agbo. We are also open to invitations. You can plan 3 days, 5 days, or a month program in your vicinity, in your location. If you want us anywhere, we are available to serve you. Thank you.
Now, thank you so much. Fine. Yes. So now
we want to talk about the headwear making in general. This is not specifically to women, like you said. We'll have some aspects that are specifically for women. We'll have things like ortugele, ready-made headwear for women. This is ortugele. It comes in different sizes, different designs, and these two can be used, different fabric materials can be used to make this. This is ortugele. Sorry, I'm alone here. Yes, this is ortugele. We have fascinators. Something I'm putting on now is a fascinator. You can see, made by me and some other students in our academy. We have different patterns. We have hats for church occasions, wedding, photo shoots, and all that. But for this class, we are looking at turban. This is a sample of a turban. We also have turbanator, but I think in our next opportunity, we'll look into how we can make a turbanator. This is turban. You agree with me that you may have seen this, but you didn't know actually what it is called. This is a turban used by all categories of women, from our aged mothers, the young mothers, and even our children. A child of 2 years can wear this. Now, how do we make turban? Apart from the various uses, the various places you can wear turban to. On a normal day, even to your office, yes. You think your hair is not properly dressed, like some women mentality. You think your hair is not properly dressed and you really do not have time to go. You just package your hair inside your turban and you're good to go. And funny enough, every one of us can make turban. It's very easy to make. Maximum 15 minutes if all materials are put in place. Yes, 15 minutes you can make a beautiful turban that you will wear to your occasion. So worry not that you don't have an artist to tie your hair, or you don't have somebody to assist you. Anyhow, just sit and get your fabric and we are good to go. Now, we have various materials that we can use to make our turban. The most common one is our Ankara material. That fabric you are putting on, you can use it to make a turban for yourself. And as such, women with tomash, you want everything to be uniform. So you can get a piece of your fabric from your seamstress, your tailor, or whoever was in charge of your fabric. Just tell the person, please, half a yard, 18 inches is more than enough to make a turban. The materials you can use to make turban, like I said, your Ankara material, that very fabric you are wearing is one. Any type of Ankara material that you can manipulate is another one. And we'll have scuba material. Those into tailoring materials will know better. We'll have what we call scuba material. You can use a lycra material to make a turban. We'll have satin, either the doll face, that's bridal satin, either the doll face satin or the shining face satin can also be used to make a turban. Any stretchy material, even the non-stretchy material, can also be used to make. What you need to do is just manipulate the few differences between the stretchy material and the non-stretchy material. But for the sake of today's class, today's training, I will be using a poly material, stretchy poly material. People call it thick poly. Some say it is foam poly. This one has foam. It's stretchy. This is what I want to use for today's class. Now, what about the measurement of a turban? We have measurement for the head. For every adult woman, the circumference of the head is 22 inches. For the turban, if you measure your head, measure your skull, you will get 22 inches. Then, because we carry hair, you can get up to 24. What I'm having now is 24 inches. But the appropriate measurement for a turban is 22 inches. 22. Then maybe a sewing allowance of 1 inch, which is 23 inches. But for me, I make use of 22 inches so that it can lap perfectly on the head, no matter whether you're carrying a woven, or you're carrying a braided hair or not. 22 is perfect for a turban for an adult size. If you're working for a child, you just reduce your inches to maybe 18, 16, or 14, depending on the age of the child. That's that for the measurement of a turban. Now, don't forget I said the head circumference is 22 inches. 22 inches. Then you can add extra if you want. That's for sewing. This is 22 inches. 22. Now, how about the width of the turban, the depth of the turban? How big do you want it? will also determine the kind of measurement you make or you take. But a standard measurement is 22 inches long by 16 inches wide. 22 long, 16 wide. The wideness of the turban. Now, what I have here, this is already cut out. I want this training to be as quick as possible. When you get your measurement, cut it out. Sorry. I think I'm being a bit in a hurry. Let me tell us the equipment we need to make a turban. Funny enough, a pair of scissors, a machine, color, and thread, depending on whatever you want to make. Machine, color, and thread for that particular fabric. Then chalk. So basically, we need just 5 things: tailor's tape, or anything you can measure. Even a wooden ruler can be used for measurement. We have our scissors, a machine needle and thread, and chalk. But you agree with me that all these things are readily available in every home, or most of the homes we have here in this part of our world. Now, this is 22 inches long and 16 inches wide. What you do is just fold 1 inch. This is assumed to be the band of the turban. This is the band. This, you can use your hand needle, your sewing needle and thread to run a permanent stitch, or you meet a seam. If you can sew, fine. Just sit on your machine and sew. But let me tell you the shocking part of what I do. I'm not a seamstress. I don't have a professional sewing skill. I pay seamstresses and tailors to do the job for me. What I do is division of labor. I cut, give out to whoever is in charge, sew, and they return back to me. So the idea of I don't have a sewing machine, or I don't have sewing experiences is not an excuse on how and when to make a turban. So back to base. This has been sewn 1 inch. You just fold 1 inch. Now fold your turban into 2. We want to make the turban proper. Fold into 2 equal halves. 2 equal halves. We have the open edge. We have the open edge at one end and the closed edge from the other end. Now what you do is this. I think we all know letter D, capital letter D. That is the perfect shape for a turban. What we have here now is I think this is square. Is this square or rectangle? Mathematics professionals in the house, I leave that to you. What you do here is get your piece of chalk, measure 4 inches. Hello, is somebody in the house? If you're watching me and you can hear me clearly, just say hi, 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 hi. I think, okay, we'll have a Regare TJ Charity in the house. She's saying, this is so good, girl, well done. Thank you so much for joining the program. If we have viewers in the house, please, just comment, say hi, happy Sunday. Let's know you are with us. Let me know you are following the teaching. If there's any question, just put them down. At the end of this section, I'm going to answer such questions. Please feel free to participate with us. It's a collective effort. It's for our good. It's for everybody. Whether you're a man, you're a woman in the house, you can as well save this video and give it to your loved ones. Now, let's continue from where we stopped. EJ, Lisa, Numa, thank you for joining us. You're welcome. Happy Sunday to you and a happy new month as well. Now, from the open edge of the turban, it's not yet a turban. From the open edge of your fabric, measure 4 inches. 4 inches. Then create a cut, a connective curve, 4 inches. I hope you see this clearly. This is 4 inches. Drag your line to the edge. Then create a curve. Remember I said the turban should look like letter D. Letter D. That's capital letter D. We just create a curve and cut off this excess. The 4 inches that we measured earlier, you trim it out from the rest of the fabric. Are we following? You get something like this. This is the open edge. This is the open edge. This is the cutout from this end. The cutout from this end. Straight to business. Map out 1 inch from the open edge of the fabric. If you like, you can trace with your chalk for beginners, of course. Yeah, you can just trace 1 inch from the edge, something like this, or use your pin. That's for you. Hold both fabric in position. This actually is to make your sewing neat and fast too. Hold the fabric in place. Get your needle and thread and tack. What we'll do here, we'll use the running stitch. Those of us who escaped home economics while we were in the primary and secondary school, is ahead waiting for each and every one of you. All those of you that escaped home economics, say, you don't want to sew, you don't want to sew. Now we're sewing. This is no longer the issue of a sewing machine. Tack from the 1 inch that you have mapped out. Make sure when you begin your sewing, always secure the beginning of your stitch. Hold it in position. Hold it in position. Now here we go. I'm going to create a running stitch. On that 1 inch measurement I mapped at. I don't know if you can see
me. You have some questions?
Yes,
you have some questions on the screen?
Yes, the 4 inches line, you get your 4 inches from the edge this way. straight 4 inches, then form a curve connecting one end. Let me explain this way. Please, I hope you still there watching. This is the 4 inches line I created. I marked that from the edge, the open edge of your fabric. This is the 4 inches. This is the 4 inches. I got a straight line of 4 inches, then connected my curve from this other end to this end. The 4 inches will give you the guide as to how to connect your curve. Apart from this one, you can measure, 4 inches this way, 4 inches is a long process. Get a 4 inches straight line. Use your imaginary line. Create a curve from this end to this end. Trim it out. That's what I have here now. Trim it out. You have something like, let me turn the turban to your direction. You have something like letter D, capital letter D. Capital letter D. Can we see from our end? That's the shape, the actual and the standard shape of a turban. Capital letter D. Then you now mark out 1 inch from the edge, that's the open end of your fabric, and sew a running stitch from the open end to the closed end. Let's assume this is angle A, this is angle B, and angle C. Create a connecting running stitch from angle A to B to C. That's where we are now. Thank you. I hope you understand the explanation. Get a running stitch. And another thing is, while you create a running stitch, try to let the distance be accurate to a greater extent. Try to maintain same spacing. Hello, viewers in the house, well done. I hope we're learning. Here we are. This is how the running stitch looks like. 1 inch from the edge. When you are through, when you get to the other end, pull your thread, pull and gather. Pull and gather. But don't be too rigid. Don't make it too tight. It should be a bit flexible. Can we see this? Can we see this? This is how it should look like. It should look like when you pull your thread. Now find a way to secure. Okay, the layman will say tie. Find a way to tie this other end. Make sure it's well tied, it's firm enough so the fabric or the thread does not get loosed up within the course of time. Tie as many times as possible. The seamstress and tailors in the house will understand this. Okay, let me do it the layman's way. Tie again. Just tie. Make sure it's firmly secured. There should be no excuse to say, sorry, ma, you lose. Whether you are using it for yourself or you making for sale, make sure it is firm enough. It is firm enough. Now, this is our turban. We cannot call it a turban. It's ready. Ah, yes. I usually like to wear my turban this way. I like this edge from the top. Then in another way, I can decide to pack my hair up and fix my turban. I can decide to wear it like this if I want to, or the other way, like some persons prefer. Sometimes you can see how firm it is on the forehead. Don't forget 22 inches. Mark, if you want, put your additional 1 inch for sewing, but for me, I don't. I work with 22 and I get that 1 inch for tacking. This is our turban. Same thing with this black I have here. Do you have questions? Victoria Funaya, this is beautiful. Please, do you? Oh, yes, I do. Yes, I do. This is it. So now tell me, is it? She has already said it's beautiful. Thank you. This is good to go. As a woman, as a mother that have daughters, it's not everything we'll have to buy. Can we use a sewing machine instead of a needle and thread to stitch around? Yes. Yes, you can. You know that loose pattern they sew in with the sewing machine. When you finish sewing, pull the thread and gather the fabric together. Pull the thread, pull and gather. But I think I really prefer the hand sewing because as it is now, this thread is doubled. It's 4. It's a double thread fixed inside the needle. Then, you know, I got 4 threads here. In this way, it will be difficult for the turban to get loose almost immediately, except for someone who is will I say careless or not careful enough to maintain their head well. I usually prefer the hand sewing. The machine can actually run the band of the turban, but for the turban proper, I prefer using my needle and thread. For me, it's more firm. Please do, how do we create the scent curve at the edge of the forehead? I think let me use a paper to illustrate this, so maybe we'll understand better. Excuse me, please. This is our turban. Let me remove this rough edge. This is the turban. This is the measurement of the turban folded into 2. Like I said, fold 1 inch from this edge, run it. This is usually done with the aid of a sewing machine. But if you don't have a sewing machine, use your hand and run a permanent stitch. We all did home economics and we have the various types of stitches. Run it from one end to the other. Fold into 2. Let's not forget to, when you're making your turban, by the time you must have sewn the band. This is the band. This is the band. We are working with the fade side, not the not you know our fabric has in and out. It has the outer view and the inner view, the inside view. Thank you. Ebe eriri na oyiwo ko ti wodeko no ko reri ewie akpo na ye kwebi yo, but ekevovo ebe eriri na oyiwo deke ko tan wo kise ko bi yo. Now this is the turban. This is the fabric. Somebody just asked, how do we create the D curve? How do we create the D curve? Now, from this, don't forget, this is your band. This is the open edge of the fabric. I said mark 4 inches. 4 inches straight from the open edge. Get your imaginary curve from one end to the other. Mr. Tim, please, can you see this clearly?
Yeah, I can see.
Okay.
Very well.
This is the imaginary 4 inches. No, sorry. This one is the measured 4 inches. Then this is the imaginary curve from one end. Let's assume this is A, B, C. No. A, B, C. A, B, C. Get the imaginary curve, imaginary line from this end to the end, bearing in mind the 4 inches that you have measured. Trim out this portion of the 4 inches. Trim it out. Cut it out. Invariably, you've cut out B from the fabric. We now have A and C. Sorry, Lisa, Muna, please, I hope you stay here. You now have A and C. Get your 1 inch measurement and tack a running stitch from A to C. B has been cut out. Okay, she said not the D curve, I mean the forehead band. Some turban have an overlapping slant on the band rather than a straight band like this one. Oh, yes. Is it something like this? Something like this, a double band. I think we all know how to pleat. We all know the pleat. Those days when we used to wear pleated skirts. That's how you get your double pleating on the band. When you run the first line as it is here, you just, let's do the explanation with this fresh one. This is the first pleat. Let's assume we have run it down. Let me use speed, sorry. This is the line that the sewing machine is going to sew, or your hand needle is going to tack. This is the first band. This is it. Now, if you want it doubled, Just pleat the next line. Something like this. And run it with your sewing machine as well, or your hand sewing. If you want the band as, you want the pleats to be as many, even if you want 3, you want 4, just keep increasing it. Those days now, pleated skirts, keep increasing it to get what you want. But mind you, let me let you know this. If you intend to get more than 1 pleat, please increase the measurement of your supposed turban. Instead of measuring 16 inches, increase it to maybe 20 or 22, bearing in mind the number of pleats you want at the band. The number of pleats you want on the original bands that you have created. If you want 3 pleats, you want 4 pleats, just increase the length of the 16 inches. Don't take 16 and begin to pleat more than 1 band. I hope this is clear, Muna. Do we have more questions? Do we have more questions? Now, there are some turbans you find in the market or around you that have some designs attached to them. We call those ones turbanator. This is a turban. We call them turbanator. That's attaching a fascinator to the turban, something like this. Now, let's assume this, okay, well, this is our turban. We want to make it a turbanator. Let me use this. This one is fresh, you know. We want to make our turbanator. I usually like this line in front. I don't know why, but I think it gives it some kind of beauty because of the pleats around, the pleats on it. Now, let's assume you want a turbanator. We'll come to this class anyway. You will have to create your turban, your fascinator first. Create your turban first, then attach the fascinator to your turban. It then becomes, let me wear this. It then becomes a turbanator. Something like this. Whatever way you intend to style it, you are good to go. Do we have more questions? Something that is not clear and all that. Now, apart from, let me highlight some of the benefits of being a millionaire. Apart from the fact that you can use a turban or turbanator to beautify yourself, you can as well make some cool, it can be a source of livelihood. Yes. Yours is just to create the design, then sell out. There are shops in the market where they sell headwears, turban fascinators, scarfinators, gele, senator caps, and all that. You can meet them, discuss with them. This is what you do. Get the colors that they want from them, and maybe probably the type of fabric that they prefer. Like for me, I usually prefer scuba, taffeta, or dollface satin, and the lycra. Some persons prefer Ankara. It depends on what the vendor or the seller prefers. So try to find out from them what shade of material, what type of material do you really prefer for your turban. They will give you what they want. Just note them down. Go to the market, get as many fabric as possible, as many colors, of course. Make your turbans and send them to whoever is in charge of sale. Yours is just to produce, then you sell out. They'll be there to they'll be the one to sell to the final consumer. Yes. Another thing is, as you put on your turban made by you, trust women. If you have your fabric and you are putting it too much, they want to ask, Afa, where did you get this from? People to say, I made it myself. I teach, I train, I sell, and all that. It can be a very good source of living. And you see, because I'm trying to explain, that's why it's taking this long. If I were working, I would have done 6, 7, probably 10 of this turban. Not turban, later I say turban. So as many as possible, just keep them there. Once the order comes in, if it's for a turbanator, you just get it and attach it. You're good to go. So for women, for mothers that have girls, we the women's world, it will be a crime, it will be a taboo that you spend money to make your clothes for yourself and your children, and you're also spending money to cover their hair. I know some churches, they don't scarf their hair. Yes. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't have at least 1 or 2 colors of turban in our wardrobe. It's very easy, very, very easy, very convenient to make. You see the material, the equipment involved. Needle, 10 naira, you can get a needle. Thread is 50 naira in the market. So let's cost what we have spent in making our turban. This is let's assume it's 18 inches by 36. It's half. Nobody will sell quarter inch for you in the market. You either buy 1 yard or half a yard of fabric. Let's now assume this is not your regular Ankara that you have excess from. You bought the fabric to actually make a turban. Scuba is from my end. They sell 1,100 for the foam poly. This one is the foam, the thick type. Let's say 1,100 for a yard. Half a yard is let's say 600 naira. Mind you, we use quarter, not half. So invariably we have used 300 naira worth of fabric. But we still did not finish it because we used 22 inches long and 16 inches wide. So we still have excess from the half year that we bought. Now, thread is 50 naira. And of course, you will agree with me that you are not going to use the whole of one thread for just a turban. Tape is, let's say, 40 naira. I don't know how much from your end. From my end is 25 naira. So let's say 40 naira. The needle, let's assume, is 20 naira. That's 300 plus 50 is 350 plus 40 is 390 plus 20 naira is 410 naira. That's what we spent so far for the turban, this turban that we have just made. Let's now assume your time, the calculations and everything that, let's say 300 naira. So we have spent 710 naira making this turban. How much is it from your end? Calculate it. Now imagine how many 700 naira you will make and push into the market. And of course, it might not be up to. I'm just exaggerating this 300 naira. If I had spent less than 5 minutes or 10 minutes making this, probably, trust me, it's not going to be 300. It's ought to be less than. So if you have your children at home, maybe let's assume you have 4 girls, like for the women's world, you have 4 girls in your home. 700 times 4, that's 2,800. And believe you me, the quality of the fabric also determines the price that it is sold in the market. So please, it's time we get back to work. There are some expenses we can intentionally avoid such expenditure, because these are some of the things we can do with our hand. Needle, thread, scissors, what else? Tape and your fabric, and we're good to go. I think we're coming gradually to the end of this training. I actually want to appreciate the founder, the CEO himself, Mr. Timothy Ogenovo Emorapo, yes, my special sweetheart, for the opportunity to be a participant of Ogban Urobo. I think we've been able to learn something this first day of August. Yes. The Ember months are fast approaching. We'll have celebrations here and there. We'll have ceremony here and there. And let's not make excuses. It's a better time and a perfect time to prepare ahead for the Ember months, because a lot of celebrations will be around the corner. Go to those who intend to do one or two things. Talk to them. This is what you do. Tell them you can use their fabric to make beautiful, stunning turban and turbanetors for them. Just agree on the price and depending on what you want to make, and we're good to go. Come back here to tell us, yes, you've been able to do something for yourself. You've been able to do something for those in your environment. And don't forget, we plan and execute skill acquisition training programs for groups, individuals, organizations, and all that. We'll have a special training on request. Just like we'll have our offline training, we'll also have online training for those who may feel the distance is a barrier and all that. Technology has made life so easy and beautiful for each and every one of us. Feel free to contact us. If you want us to be physically present in your location, maybe you want a 3-day program for members of your church, not just women. Some of my skills I learned from men. We can always bring them together, then impart into their lives. Let's help to affect people's life positively. I have 2 degrees by the special grace of God. None have been put to use. It has been handwork since I can remember. Nearly everything I put it. This earring was made by me. Yes, I'm into bead making, costumes, and all that. So if we learn 1 or 2 skills, it will be very good for our home, for our family. Whatever skill you have passion for, please, it must not be turban. Go for it. Go for it, please. In the long run, you actually appreciate that you actually acquired 1 or 2 skills. Thank you, and God bless.
No, please, you have 2 questions, please. Sorry. One from Lisa. Lisa is asking you, please, how do we do the fascinator? I think we'll leave this for another day. Yes, but she said before you go, ma, please just answer this, please.
If I'm using an anchor fabric and it's not stretchy, what do we need to do to the band so it can easily enter the head and stay? 2 things. Excuse me, I have to leave this stage, please. Let me show you something. Yes, Ankara is not stretchy. Can you see this? I'm going to use this for a turban. This is doll face satin. From your question the other time, I think I have 3 pleats here. 3 pleats here. Can you see the edge of the fabric? I have rope attached. This is not stretchy. By the time I cut this place off to get my D shape. Let me position this thing like this. And tack this edge, of course. I'm going to wear it like this, or whoever bought it is going to wear it. Whoever buys it is going to wear it like this and tack. Tack. That's for non-stretchy materials or fabric. Then 2. There's what we call, I think, let me teach you in the layman's English. Husband and wife, gum gum. use this and attach it to, of course, you still have to get something like this as a band. Get 2 inches or 2.5 inches cut of this and sew it to the band. Then the other end, the other one to the other end of this same fabric. So by the time you wear, you now use this gum, as they call it in the market, or husband and wife, and clip it at the back for non-stretchy materials. Either you use this or you attach a rope to both ends of the fabric and tie, so you can tie. It's same measurement, 22 inches, don't forget, or 23 at most, and tie. Do we have any other question, please? I hope you understand this, ma. Any more questions? If you understand it, just say yes. Okay, so we know. I know I've been able to explain this to the best of my knowledge, anyway.
Yes, before any other question comes around, I want to appreciate you, Miss Maryfaith Isibunyota Ifunere, Chief Executive Officer. I say, that's who you are, you know, the Chief Executive Officer of Morningstar Creative Arts. Yes, Lisa is asking the question, but before the question pops up, I want to appreciate you very immensely because you didn't only teach our followers, you also taught me. Yes, before now, I see people wear turban, but I don't know what the turban is. I see them, especially it's being worn by these deeper life women. Sorry, I'm not trying to criticize anybody, but they wear it most. And each time you say turban, the only turban I know is the one that we get in the hydropower that turns hydraulic energy into electric energy. So today I've learned so much, and we cannot but appreciate you more. Urubonation will bless you. Maryfaith is actually into so many things. She also has a farm, and I think last week I followed her on Facebook page when to Asaba. She's multi-talented. She's a business to come to your home to teach, to train, and to empower the young ones. Of course, like we said, the white collar jobs are no longer there. We don't even have a black. Now it is a trend of sabificate. What do you get? What do you sabi? And she has encouraged, if you can produce turbine and sell, who knows? You may just be the best hands, a top hand in the market, you know. And also believe that by God's grace, same time next week, Maryfaith to be here as our guest to teach us fascinator. Oh dear. Yes. Please, I would want you to give us your phone number so that okay. Lisa is asking you, where's your office located? Our office is in Ogban, in Delta State.
Yes, number 46 Maryfaith Street by Immaculate Scan. I mean, adjacent to Immaculate Scan, Ogban, Delta State.
Please, your phone number.
But for me to know that I am mobile, my office is everywhere. We just have a physical location, but I'm everywhere. Yes.
Yeah, please, your phone numbers, please.
I'm a mobile instructor. My phone number 070 65 455 872. I take it again. 080 sorry 070 65 455 872. You can also reach us on WhatsApp. Yes, that line is still on WhatsApp. Then on Facebook, I'm known as Morningstar Maryfaith and Morningstar Creative Arts with my phone number attached. You'll be able to reach us.
Yeah, Maryfaith, somebody want to join us. I don't know if if he has anything to tell you. I'm bringing him on board now.
Okay.
Or maybe he has something to add.
Wow, thank you very much.
Welcome, sir. Happy Sunday to you.
I wish you the same. Thank you very much. It's been an awesome meeting. I tell you, though I wasn't there when the class started, but for the part I met, it was an awesome time. Thank you very much for taking out your time to train us. Thank you for taking out your time to let us know what's up. If not, we say one or two things, I forgot open shop today. Based on the small I don't learn. You understand? So thank you very much. And please, like he said, when we call on you next, don't hesitate. We need you to also show us other things.
I will.
And, that is one. Then two, hope you are open for paid trainings.
Yes.
Everything not be free. Everything not be free.
I understand. But we have to sensitize. Sorry, we have to sensitize the mind first. Let them know what they want to know and the importance of the skills they intend to acquire.
Yes. Okay.
If we're able to make some beautiful things for ourselves with time, you know.
Okay. I appreciate that one because
most people actually didn't know that this thing is called a turban.
Okay.
Hello.
Okay.
Most people didn't know that it is called a turban. And they actually didn't know that you can use your hand and needle and thread to make a turban.
Okay.
Now that we know every fabric we have now, at the back of our mind, we want to make a turban to complement our dress. I'm going to teach us the men how we can use our own fabric to make cap for ourselves.
I think Mr. Our Ebu Oga, the Ogban Robo himself, like we call him, I will solicit that on one of these days, let there be a live training on Ogban Robo page. Sir, I don't know how you see it. Our Oga. Okay. He's not around.
I hope he's still here with us. And another thing I want to say is this. Today's class was kind of urgent, but I know in subsequent training, I'm going to tell us ahead the materials we need to make provision for. So as I'm talking, so we'll be able to start implementing. Then when we are not too clear or you know, we can always explain questions and all that.
Okay. So for our viewers, those who are viewing live and those who will be viewing later, because some persons are not free now, so they are not able to join the broadcast. You can see her phone number on the screen. In case you need her, if you have a women group, a society, and you people need training, she is available. If you also need somebody who will make enough fascinators, Abianti, you know they do contracts.
Oh yes. The last one even went to Lagos yesterday morning.
You see. So if you have enough fascinators that you need somebody to make, she is out there. You can see what she's putting on now. You see that small head up there, that white lady upstairs. What do you call that one?
This one is Otugele.
So if oh boy, So if you need all these things for your group, for the men, if you need them for your wife, she is out there and ready to give it to you. So our guy, Ogban himself, I was telling her that one of these days, I think we'll do a paid training. Where people will come. You see, oh boy. This one go fit me. Oh.
No, be like.
Oga, I said okay, thank you very much. Let me hand over to our boss.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yes, Maryfaith. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You know, we built just 30 minutes for this program, but you know, it began with an accelerating experience. You know, it was just going up and up, and before we knew it, we spent an hour, and we can't thank you enough. I also want to thank those who have been following us, who have liked it, who have shared it. I want to thank those who have commented. I want to appreciate you, Eregare TJ Charity. Yes, TJ Charity is a caterer, a good cook. I posted one banga soup and stash that she made a video a while ago. I want to thank Ejiro Numa. Ejiro Numa is like a mitochondria to Ogban. To those who did biology, they know the meaning of mitochondria, the powerhouse. Yes, the voice you hear behind the Urobo anthem, Urobo Urorevi, that I now use, was done by her. And she is a very patriotic Urobo lady, you know. Yes, I want to appreciate you so much. Victoria Fumunaya, thank you so much. Thank you for everybody. Thank you to everybody who commented. Thank you to everybody who watched. Thank you to everybody who liked. Thank you for everybody who shared. Don't forget, Ogban Robo is actually, let me use the Robo word, on a Wetalu Robo, like a house of Robo Nation, where we discuss Robo growth, where we discuss Robo tradition, where we promote Robo people, Robo culture, anything that has to do with developing Robo Nation. That's what Ogban Robo stands for. This also surpasses the fact that if you live in Delta State or nation, Robo language, or the culture, and you want, and there is something you want to contribute to developing Robo Nation, you are free to come online, because information is power. Yes, information is power. You can imagine the way Maryfaith has fed us with Turban. Don't be surprised if you see me here Turban the next Sunday to church. That is the handwork of Maryfaith. And Maryfaith, will be very pleased to have you on Sunday again by God's grace, where you teach us the fascinator. And of course, but you didn't tell us something about your farm and the fish you've been harvesting. You didn't tell us anything about it.
And you didn't tell them I'm going to weigh the fish to you at the end of this program. Hello.
Yeah, I want to believe maybe her network is not friendly, because she has been battling with it. Even my own, sometimes the thing will just log me out. Of course, you know, a network.
Like he said, I didn't tell us about our fish farm. With subsequent times, in subsequent trainings, we're still going to talk about how we can raise catfish for family consumption. We may not necessarily go into commercial sales. For the past 10 years, I don't know how much they sell fish in the market. Yes. I have a small tank for family use. We'll have our farm for commercial purposes. Subsequent time, we're going to learn how we can raise catfish. Yes, as long as you have water, we can make provision for either a movable pond, tank, or whatever. Even if it's just 50 pieces of catfish in your home, apart from the nutritional value of that fish, most times that's what I use to relax my nerves at the end of the day. At night, I come out to watch them. You know, they have night life. Yes. I'll just come out to watch, to feed, and you know, as you smile, you will look at as you look at those fish and you keep smiling. It eases a lot of stress. So not just fascinator, turban and all that. We will learn how to rear fish. Yes. And Mr. Timothy forgot to tell us that at the end of this program, I'm going to do some wavy to Asaba. Yes.
Please, I'll.
So please let's get to work. Let's get to work. We'll actually enjoy the benefit of being skilled. Yes. Hello, Mr. Tim.
Thank you much, my dear. God bless you. Yes, I think with this, we are coming to the end of the program, and I want to appreciate everybody. I want to bless everybody. I pray that by the grace of God, in our next program, we'll be having more educative lessons or lectures from Morningstar Creative Arts, by Sunday, by God's grace. Thank you so much, Faith. I appreciate you. God bless you.
Thank you, sir.
So you wa erera ya to peri awe to da no nure eke na urobo na ụmụ agbon ori yo na mari pa obore ruwe turbine turbine na ono neso already made on neso le kwebi yo on neso oye urobo se on neso ya wagbu yobi kori yo na ba bu iru nwa no ya na oje ka bari ogene ro bari enu eti na abaju we na gbono wo fo wa kojo bi na koko gbono na eyo ni moro ye wo bi school ogbono yo ni mo we school ma black holiday na aba na oda gbono yo ni mo we pa oberu turbine fascinator auto gele karamo ka won ni na AC creativity then was egene na mo agbona na mo robo na esegbuyota Maryfaith sene oyo ni mo we choyo wa when kede I government to both na aki ponana ehun na igbero there are no jobs out there anymore so oyobi na euro what are going to see Maryfaith wetaro oye if aki kwa be no plus 234 70 okay mira plus 234 70 65 45 5872. What's an nota? Can call going to be job when the Bible tells train up a child in the way he should go, so that when he's old, he won't depart from it. And every holiday, where Janja was saying, and I go to car when he's what I'm moving the we see Maryfaith, we see Morningstar Creative Arts. Oh, you know more. Oh, you know, kide na you be you know na. Anye obo udo chana kadia. Ede netire ada jokene na wo you know na. Ada wala chare. Kaji kikire ba miko. No na we complain na ikuwe so wa na wa swe. Bobo na so wa na ajirie ayu ni robo. Iskovo ya rare. Jokore besa okapeye sa. Okwo you ni robo. Ode governor chana. Oka woli go vie industrial state in Europe. We want to keke ikire Europe ko kiri China in Nigeria. So me watane because e number segbiota of his screen na 07065455872 or number loye. That be we say o you dem more why. E den etire e go no uye wo by ore ko lo no ranse na ikwe comment ikwe share ye you go know you ko akide okodo chi amle ko die muna akamlo kwata na obere yo obere for kyota na mi euro wa awakere udokodo chana ma goje ukwo fe gba gone abekori newspaper review na koko awakere uro kino na yara koboko be bi Nigeria na awaka robo wo se ki obole bureau ya bile igweta Nigeria is national daily so but I say am ojobi ike awake site na senle inya ekova kenya abago no unutene era mo omedo in Nigeria na ikure Nnamdi Kanu leader IPOB iku Sunday Igboho leader ime Yoruba gbogbo olóṣèlú náà kí ikú rẹ̀ Abba Kyari onori onokpa esi Super Cup a tifa bobiyo pare omuruve imuji internet le hospital joli ena iku ama trending Nigeria asoke bana je kasa wa woda via woda go na ba ni woda go robo ni woda go Nigeria jobi ni because there was sabare over ukeke rabana 08066835020 make aroma say ukeke na corner 08066835020 awa fi WhatsApp wo se risha ba kin aka ogo na ba nyo pa yo go robo ni e pare wa bare woda je ni na wo wi company asa woda ada nwia woda go ni ko le yo because dawe wo ri e mo robo kede ohun ya gede wa lo ke ma re so me ma ikpi school de ribiri okada ko ya je jodo yo biri e ma ma ikpi school da je okada je me kwe o fa ikpi school da yan masa okida ti akai ki so ma re abi kam ni ko osu over to so woda wasa oda nwun ya woda bi company bo we iko da wo ri e mo robo ete ne tire woda je ko ogo nu ya vamare be wo go ni de tawari bo ka ba ji ko gogo ti na tena ani awo gogo yo ko go ni woda je gogo ba ko ke sewe ede ne tire biko awe go no we na wo we iko robo jobu won si di no ke jobi olomle dia dawe o bo che o dia olomle dia ede ne tire e ma bubu je re go ni school I we go so school na evolve school na but asamle go ko sai school asamle go de be e kai monana I primary school be fun yoko I secondary school be fun mi I do be school the university polytechnic college of education e be Nigeria jobina e Canada because what that be say na ajobo chai ina ye nyere ine ogba ogwuta robo say Ogban robo lo wa robo funana wado akobe no